Good morning and happy Sunday, everyone. You know, I really don't think okay, so full disclosure, my low yesterday was simply just how much I was feeling so melancholy. It's due to personal stuff, as well as it ultimately led me to having a good cry. But I don't think there's a more accurate representation. Oh, perhaps Jane. I don't think there's a more accurate representation as to how I'm feeling than looking out my window right now. It's not raining outside, but it's like a light drizzle right now. It's clearly rained a lot in the last several hours. And yeah, that's the best, most accurate representation of how I was feeling yesterday. I'm feeling better now, comparatively. And honestly, you know what it is? I really think now it's, okay, so I've said this before. Growing up, I would always get so sad when summer was over and I had to go back to school. And now that I don't need to worry about school anymore, that sort of negative emotion is applied to something else that I was thinking about yesterday. Again, it's personal stuff. And I'll definitely, here's the thing, I would talk about it now, but there's a time and place to really go into more detail about that, and that is, December. Man, I tell you what, those videos, I always have a lot to say, but this year it's probably going to be more so. I don't know, I'll try to, hopefully I won't make those videos too long. So, long story short, yesterday I was feeling kind of sad. And I literally just said I had a good cry. I wasn't just feeling sad, I was feeling straight up distraught, I guess. But my high was, I did get to spend the evening with my family. I got to see my nephews. We went back to Sorges for the first time since before Memorial Day weekend. Seriously, it's been that long, and I must say I missed it. It was great being back. So there's that. And here's the thing. And keep in mind, I'm not to say I totally did this to myself, but to add to just how sad I was feeling. Today is the last day Rita's is going to be open. And, last night, I thankfully went there to get the last of the stock I needed to make it last until Rita's opens again next year. But it really does, if it didn't feel like we were already in the last quarter of 2024, now it really does. This year is winding down. And also, if you haven't been to Rita's yet, I would highly recommend you go. Because you're not going to, do it now or for the next 4 months and change forever wish you had. Good God, it's going to be 4.5 months. That's actually the longest Rita's will be closed for a season. Seriously, Rita's would close in listen, I don't want to get into it has to do with shipping and stuff like that and supplies. I get that. It happens. So hopefully, next year won't close as early. Plus, now that, as much as I love going to Rita's weekly, that was one thing I had to plan on. I had to make time to make plans for every week. This sort of gives me a bit of a break from it. So that's nice. So that's where I'm at mentally right now. And my act of kindness was helping my folks watch my nephews at dinner. And it was great. It was, honestly, in spite of how, sad I was feeling yesterday, it was still a good day. I just wish, unfortunately, last night, another thing I tried to do was, go out and, see anyone I knew. And I saw one person, but she was working, so, yeah, that happened. I don't know. Honestly, I just did nothing but drive around a lot, which I never do. So, I guess for the first time in years, I'm legit meandering through life. And I don't normally do that. I think, again, give it some time. Let this sort of new norm take place. And I think by the time we get to the last weekend in October, I think that's when I'll start really feeling like my old self again. So just get through this week. I have a Halloween party to prepare for. Speaking of which, there's something I have to get and make. So, yeah, I got a lot going on in my head right now, but it's nothing too sad or crazy. So anyway, I have NFL picks to make, so let's make them. If I can get them out real fast. Okay, so for today, we have the Jaguars and the Bears. You know what? It's at Soldier State. It's at Soldier Field. I'll take the Bears. The Buccaneers versus the Saints. It's tough because I like Derek Carr and I like Baker Mayfield. You know what? I think I'll take... Because whoever wins this game will clearly be winning the division this year, I think. I watch. By January, I'm totally going to be wrong about that. I'll take the Buccaneers. Why not? Commanders versus the Ravens. Ravens. Cardinals and Packers. Packers. Colts and Titans. The Titans. Texans and Patriots. Texans. Browns versus the Eagles. Eagles. That's an easy one for me. Holy cow. Let's see. Chargers versus the Broncos. Chargers. Ooh, Steelers versus the Raiders. How interesting. Fun fact about the history between the Steelers and the Raiders. It was against the Raiders when the Steelers had the Immaculate Reception. For those of you who don't know what the Immaculate Reception is, there was I want to say it was a kick return or it was either a punt or a kick return or maybe a kickoff or something of that degree. Maybe it was a pass, but I forget which. But basically, the ball ricocheted off the helmet of one of the Raiders players. Franco Harris grabs it, and then he runs right in for the touchdown. That was the Immaculate Reception, because it happened so fast, and it happened just at the right time. All the Raiders had to do was just maintain possession, and they win, and the Steelers wound up winning. And that game is actually quite significant, not just for the fact it's probably the greatest play in all of NFL history, but it was actually the very first game, the very first playoff game that the Steelers won. Yeah, very first time the Steelers won a playoff game was the Immaculate Reception game. Not many people know that. But, both teams are definitely under dire straits. Even though the Raiders are at home, I think I'll go with the Steelers. Falcons versus Panthers. Falcons. Lions versus my Cowboys. At home. Yeah, of course I'm thinking my Dallas Cowboys. You kidding me? And now the Bengals and the Giants. Ooh. I don't know. Both the Bengals and the Giants right now have kind of been, especially, like, the Giants, the sort of, like, in the last several years, at best, the Giants have been slightly better than mediocre. The Bengals, on the other hand, like, for every time I hear something great about Joe Burrow, like, something bad happens to the Bengals. It really does feel as if, like, they're slipping a little bit. I mean, they did just lose a really big game to the Ravens, which is a division rival, so I'm not necessarily going to hold that against them. And again, the Giants, they beat the Seahawks. And who else did they beat? I forget. I know they beat somebody else. I'll probably have to look it up later. And the Seahawks are actually a decent team, comparatively. This is not, again, some of these picks are just not easy. You know what? I think the Bengals are going to bounce back. I think the Bengals. Okay, so with that, my picks for today are the Chicago Bears over the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the New Orleans Saints, the Baltimore Ravens over the Washington Commanders. Quite literally a crosstown game. The Green Bay Packers over the Arizona Cardinals, the Tennessee Titans over the Indianapolis Colts, the Houston Texans over the New England Patriots, the Philadelphia Eagles over the Cleveland Browns, the Los Angeles Chargers over the Denver Broncos, the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Las Vegas Raiders, the Atlanta Falcons over the Carolina Panthers, my Dallas Cowboys over the Detroit Lions, and finally, the Cincinnati Bengals over the New York Giants. Let me bring this over here. You guys can see. Oh, by the way, in case you can't tell, I numbered it. So, you know what pick is which. Well, really any of these picks could fit in any number, but I was trying to count how many games there are. Because if you pay attention to YouTube videos, making NFL picks, it's like my insert number here of NFL picks. So, now, so these are my 80th to 91st NFL picks of this year. So, again, a check mark is next to the team that I chose for today. Sorry, my handwriting is a little bit sloppy, but it should be legible enough for people to read. Okay, so let me falling over a little bit. Not falling over, but I don't know. So that made me feel better. Honestly, that's actually one thing that tends to work for me whenever I'm feeling kind of sad. Like, if I stick to doing things that I know for a fact are, you know, familiar to me, again, like making NFL picks, that definitely sort of I mean, I don't want to say it gives me a sense of comfort because it's not the correct term for it, but I can't think of anything better. So, in terms of what my plans are for this morning, not really much to say. Gonna get this video uploaded. Gonna head over to the church. See my family. Pretty, it should be a rather mundane, Sunday. Let's see. I don't know. I guess, like, with Halloween approaching in the coming days, actually, you know what? That reminds me. I'm getting my haircut soon. Ooh, I need to plan. I gotta plan to get my haircut too. Man, there's a lot I gotta get done. Holy cow. So definitely gotta plan on getting my haircut soon. Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry if this video seems kind of dull and dreary for, again, I mean, I know okay, I don't know if you can hear that, but I can literally hear a church bell. You know, okay, so not only did that make me feel better, but that actually reminds me. I haven't really said this before yet, but one of my all-time favorite Disney movies is Robin Hood. And that church bell that I just heard, it reminds me of that one scene as like things are getting really depressed in that movie, and a Friar Tuck is ringing the church bell, and the priest is like, I don't think anyone's going to be coming today. Well, maybe hearing the church bell will give him some comfort. And you know what? It did give me some comfort. Okay, I'm good. I hope you like this video. Like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, on social media. As always, I'm very homely in this video. For all you guys who watch the short video, have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Happy Sunday, folks. And remember, if you guys want to talk to channel, we'll be here to lend you always be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.